The inspiration was both driven by some of the urban design guidelines. It was driven by the clients, Mrs. Bata's, the galleries, the program, and then the kind of thinking around what it resembled after a while. We looked at it and we started to think, kind of looks like a shoebox. I'd say the major inspirations behind the building form became, first of all, the site. If you look at the building, the site is very long and rectangular, and that became one aspect that started to shape the inspiration for the building form. The other inspiration that started to shape the building form became the urban design guideline. The height of the building couldn't go over the height of the building next door, so that became kind of a governing element. Go into the building. They have a gallery in the lower level and a gallery in this level here. And the whole kind of museum was connected by this kind of central staircase that was in the center of the building. And the intention at the time was that we would use the back, which was the south light, and try and develop this sort of large light window at the back, this sort of opening cut into the stone, and then sunlight that would sort of spill out onto the street. And it became just a kind of a natural location for the entrance to the building, and it sort of automatically drew your eye to it. So we wanted people to think about looking down at their, because it was about shoes. So we used the base here as a place where we started to develop all the exhibition, sort of the current exhibitions and coming exhibitions, where they could display shoes, what was coming and what was, what was currently in and what was coming. We started to shape the walls because we felt that we could sort of try and pull the walls back to create a little bit more public space at this corner. As we were doing that, people started to make the connection that the proportions, the fact that we kind of floated the roof away, started to resemble a shoebox. The symbolism started to emerge, that it started to get this sense of the proportions of a shoebox and a bit of a crush to look to it, and that's where that started to emerge. Because it's about shoes. It's a place where there's shoes that are, and we were fascinated by the shoe collection. I mean, shoes that bind your feet, shoes used by movie stars, shoes used by, politicians, and to have this shape and form that somehow expresses that, I think is it's a very strong, and I would like to think a very appreciated aspect of how the building is looked at.
We took the patterns, the floor patterns, they go right out to the curb.
True. Yeah, we took the floor patterns.
So it's kind of, the
inside
the platform of the building, covers the whole site,
yeah.
And then the building sits on top of it. Right. So that when you continue in, the pattern draws you in towards the stair, towards the elevator, and even the pattern from the street actually carries right into the elevator.
I think it's a building that has a sense of place and purpose. It's a landmark building in a way, and to work on projects like this are really one of a kind.